Mentioned in my previous video, welcome to Walking and Talking with Phoenix, by the way, about the benefits of looking cool versus acting a fool. I missed a complete another section to that little ditty, that little talk, which is to say the effect that your choice has on the people around you, on society, right? So we talked about the benefits of just being yourself, and even if that means appearing foolish sometimes, to the fools who are so obsessed with being anal and normal, all right? We talked about that, and how that can, be a tricky thing for a person to do and be a path laden with seeming upsets and obstacles and estrangement, just doing their thing, going to the beat of their drum. It can invite criticism and judgment and isolation and censorship, but it also liberates one to be able to be who they are without fear or restraint, and to not give a fuck about the fucks given to them by other people, alright? But what about the effect this does have on other people? Well, let's look at it again. Let's revisit the looking cool versus acting a fool and the effect this has on those watching you, okay? Besides whether they're gonna judge and all of that, which we already discussed. So let's say we're first starting with looking cool. If you keep in line with everyone else and you just worry about fitting in with the herd and all of this, going within the lines and the playing it safe, you are going to encourage in everybody around you the same mentality, to take the same pathways, the same approach to life, and everyone's going to go down the road often traveled, just because it's safer to do. And if you obsess about seeming cool and being attractive given the overall definitions prescribed by your society at present, then you're going to enforce, and everyone else watching this and taking you in, the notion that yes, indeed, it is very important to keep in line with expectations. Yes, it's important to pay attention to ego and fulfill every demand it has. Yes, it's important to prize how you look and how you physically move and behave on the outside more than being concerned about internal qualities and personality and values and all of these things, which I would say actually truly give value to a person and their ability to contribute to society more than wearing the right clothes or perfume or knowing all the right moves to entice another and seem cool, okay? If you're obsessed with seeming cool, then you're pretty much normalizing a world in which it is normal, right? To just try to achieve to be cool, to obsess about that at the expense of the soul's enrichment and development, at the expense of your personality's development, at the expense of achieving true balance. And basically, in short, the more fucks that you give, the more you're going to tell everyone else, well, you should give a fuck too. And everyone's just going to end up giving too many fucks in a big fucking circle jerk of giving fucks until everyone is covered in all the fucks that everyone be given, all right? And basically, everyone ends up a big ball of stress. They end up all displaced from their natural selves, and they all find themselves looking at themselves through the eyes of other people until nobody knows themselves anymore. Everyone is too concerned and too serious, taking shit too seriously, because everyone else is pretty much reinforcing the message that to be cool means to basically say goodbye to any other consideration and just pay full attention, like it's a full-time job, to editing, to advertising yourself, which we see on Instagram, which we see on Facebook. We see people paying money, hard-earned money, or not so hard-earned money, whatever, to buy a set of numbers that they can link to how many friends or subscribers they have on their account to give the appearance of being more popular, give the appearance of being more interesting, whilst actually not being that interesting, whilst actually not having that much beneath the book of the cover. It's more about the surface, literally just empty numbers on a screen that mean jack shit that you paid for to convince yourself and the world that you are more than the nothing or the next to nothing that you're increasingly becoming. To convince yourself and the world that you are more than the nothing, the naught, this double zero that you are increasingly becoming. All right? So there's that. You can just basically say it's fine to obsess over this shit by obsessing over it. And the more that everyone just does this, the more normal it will be, and the harder it will be for anyone to step out of line, try to be themselves, and not give so much of a shit, and care more about who they are, not how they should behave in public, alright? Then you got the other side of the fence, if you act a fool. What is the market effect this has on not just society, but civilization? Well, I would say that, when I'm around children who are acting jovial and childish and, often by nature stepping outside the line, or when I'm hanging out with people who are eccentric, whether they be artists or performers, just your general corner of the block weirdo, that around those people, bogans and darers I suppose would fall into this, I feel a lot more comfortable, actually, a lot more comfortable being myself, letting a swear word drop here or there, telling a crude joke, just being random and silly and stupid and retarded even, and without having to be worried about being hassled over using the word retarded due to some PC shit where the wording and how you behave and how you talk and the words you use is more important than the meaning and the intention behind the word and what you actually fucking mean when you say it. When you're around those kind of people that are more acting like fools and outside the parameters of normal, it's a lot easier just to be yourself and to diverge and go any which way that you desire and to feel any which way you desire and to express any which way you desire without as much fear of being oppressed, of being judged, censored, criticized. You no longer need to repress yourself. So when people see you doing something different, acting outside the normal lines, breaking the codes and conventions of your society, it actually encourages them and affirms in them this greater awareness and even a smaller glimpse of what could potentially be a bigger reality, a normal reality, where it's okay to not follow every code and convention, where it's okay to do what rings true for you, to be your true expression without having to cut aspects of yourself away so that you fit in. And if enough people did this, if we walked around and we saw enough people just doing their thing despite the book and not just becoming another black and white fucking number on that book to a perfect, fitting to a T, then it would encourage in everyone that awareness that it's fine to be different. And that would become eventually, if enough people did it, that would become the new norm, where instead of this pure breeding mentality people have, where we are literally like photocopies degrading in each generation, and we are literally creating deficits and extremes due to pure breeding the same codes and conventions and idealistic expectations of people and societal norms and status quo. We just keep photocopying, just keep pure breeding. Instead of doing that, if enough people just did their own thing, people would actually start to consider the reality where it could be normal to just themselves do that as well. They could then consider the reality of, wow, how could this be beneficial? And they would realize that diversity and difference and divergence are actually key and core ingredients to a healthy design of whatever life form, to healthy generations. You won't get the deficits and the excesses inherent in overbreeding pure breeds, the same kind of person over and over, but you're actually going to achieve more balance in people over time. Things won't get lopsided where everyone is so lost in the externals of how they look and appear and behave and seem, and so lost and displaced and disconnected, not even questioning what's going on internally. All right, you need that differences. We need the weirdos. We need the oddballs.
Alrighty, world's greatest shave has come to a close almost.
And we need those standing out. Oh wow.
This beautiful little soul
World's
here.
greatest shave. Do you reckon I should go for it? You reckon I should go for it? I don't know if I should go for it. That's you know what? I could totally go for it right now. I could totally go for it now just to make a point that I don't give a fuck. I could totally just shave my head. My hair is looking a bit shabby anyway. But that's the point, people, that, you can either take yourself seriously and then, by extension, when everyone observes, they will begin to take themselves more seriously because it seems more normal to do that and to care more about people's eyeballs than how you see the world and how you express yourself into it. Or you can say to people, no, actually, it's okay to be the difference that makes a difference in the world. Because if this is a pure breed line of peoples, look at the direction we're going, the kind of people we're becoming, and ask, do you want to be a difference maker or reinforce the same?